And we do see Tesla certainly advertising, but it is not clear how much money is Tesla spending. Is this a huge budget ad campaign or a tiny budget campaign? Someone says, I saw the first Tesla advertisement in the UK. This addressed range anxiety and supercharging. Great work. There's a recommended number for Tesla to spend per year on advertising, and that's $1 billion. He received criticism, which stated that maybe he pulled out the numbers out of his butt, and he admits that he did. So James shared numbers that were not pulled out of his butt. This might be the longest post I have ever seen from James. It just goes on and on. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's still going. But for comparison, in 2022, legacy OEMs spent between $735 to $1,400 per vehicle sold in the US. It seems like FSD subscriptions will be finally launching in Canada. Elon approved this Canada update, and the team is working on the technical and regulatory procedures to make sure we don't trigger any unintended provincial issues. Barring any setbacks, I'd expect this in the coming weeks, says Rohan. James is also excited. Fantastic. I will be using this when I get the car. Rohan says that Tesla is working to bring the Cybertruck to Canada. The Cybertruck team is going to make this happen and is working on the regulatory paperwork and submissions. Canadian authorities have been super reasonable, so I'm very optimistic. The Cybertruck is going to be a huge hit in Canada, as we can see from the wild amount of interest. And as a Canadian, of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing lots of Cybertrucks on the Canadian roads. Tesla finally launches a CCS retrofit for the Model 3s and Ys. Tesla launched their CSS adapter back in September 2022, but older vehicles built before around 2020 still needed to have their charge port, ECU, and other parts upgraded. Originally, all of this should have come out in the middle of 2023, but there was a delay, and now it's here finally. So if you do happen to live in a somewhat remote area where Tesla does not really have many superchargers, but somehow there are more public chargers available that are not Tesla chargers, this might be something that you want to add to your Tesla vehicle. Seems like Bradford took FSD V12 to New York City. He says pedestrians, left turns, blocking, not blocking intersections, going around double parked cars, not turning right on red, not allowed for New York City, except where the sign says mopeds and more. It did well, he says. 2 big videos to come early next week, to which I will be looking forward. Tesla Model Y was Germany's best-selling SUV in February. Not really a surprise. Tesla's Model Y will again be the world's best-selling vehicle in 2024. If I am not mistaken, I believe this is not just for BEVs, this includes gas-powered vehicles too. This is really good news. Look at what Edmund says. We have owned pretty much every Tesla car that they have ever made, and the Cybertruck is the first time build quality actually meets expectations. So this is a pretty big deal. So if Edmunds of all places is positive on Tesla's build quality, then you know where this is going. Add Consumer Reports to the list and you have the best-selling car in America within 5 years.
Edmunds has owned pretty much every Tesla since the original Model S, and some of those early cars were extremely iffy when it came to fit and finish. This, however, feels extremely solid. Not only kind of the touch and feel here in the cabin, but when you're out on the road, there are no squeaks and rattles. It feels like Tesla at long last has really learnt how to build a car right from the get-go. Impressive stuff.
We saw a few Cybertruck issues earlier with a few parts being misaligned or not attached properly, but that seems to have been a one-time thing. You guys need to see this FSD V12 clip.
There's a lot of people over here on the left side. Is FSD gonna go? There's
the most impressive part
is definitely slowing down for people.
The most impressive part is going to be at the end.
That was, I don't know how I feel about that, but it made the turn. Or I guess our location is gonna be up ahead, and let's see what it does.
I'm I'm not a fan of fully full stops in the US because no one really stops generally.
Find a parking spot, or if it's just going to. It does. It literally just parked. No freaking way. Perfectly too. It literally just parked.
It was a pretty smooth parking job. There was no sudden stop. It was just smooth all the way till the car was actually fully parked when it came to parking the car.